Jalyn is a commentary YouTuber who is no stranger in getting into controversy, getting to beef with creators like Cheeto, Sensitive Society, and myself. That's right, a random Twitter user with less than 700 followers got into beef with a 300k YouTuber, and just like 80% of commentary, I'm going to milk it. This is the complete timeline of the current Jalyn arc. Now before I start, I have to be careful what I call Jalyn, as they told me they will flag my video if it breaks the YouTube TOS, and they have told other people to be anonymous with flagging. Editor note, Jalyn is currently flagging an AI parody account of them at the time of editing, so if this video goes down, you know who to blame. Now our long story begins with the distant past of January 26, 2023, where I get into debate with Jalyn for calling me a fascist.
So you're a fascist?
Transphobic.
Clearly you are based on all your transphobic tweets about me in the past, and the fact you misgender me. Like done play the "oh, I'm not right-wing" card. Come on, just admit what you are, it's blatantly. That is misgendering, it's a dog whistle. You piece of shit. Don't play ignorant sames as when people call Keffels they, them.
Their hypocrisy on edgy jokes.
That's literally what you're saying. No, that's not a fucking joke, you dumbass. I'm done. This is
If they're
and some of their political takes.
Yeah, sure, that's the excuse you all use to avoid accountability. You can't be a centrist.
This debate isn't really important to the overall drama, but it shows Jalyn's lack of understanding on basically anything. There are some ridiculous statements they made.
Well, they're gonna grow up to be future rapists.
But this leads to the first actual thing Jalyn has a problem with me. This tweet. This little quote tweet was the snowball that started the entire thing. Now, I thought this was a bit funny, and of course I do not think Jalyn is a transphobe or a pedo, but this was so bad to them that it led up to this recently legendary clip of Jalyn yelling at me.
no one else should care.
I find it just really funny that they say on Twitter, yeah, all transphobic people are pedophiles, than just being openly transphobic towards Ringo.
That's not being transphobic. I can make 41% jokes. Also, Ringo's also literally making the same jokes. Like, what the fuck you talking about, nigger?
Whoa!
Like, what the fuck? Do you want me to kill myself? Is that what your goal is?
That's right. My little tweet pointing out a bit of irony was enough to break Jalyn to the point they called me a racial slur and claimed I was trying to make them kill themselves, when all I wanted was a simple ratio. This got so bad they thought they broke their hand by breaking a mirror. They even went so crazy they went into the same VC to try and dox himself, but I was able to stop it.
Okay, actually, hold on. I will dox myself. I want you to swat me. Hold on. Who wants my address?
Your fucking address.
Okay, I timed out.
She just read off her address.
I timed her out before she could give it the full thing. Now, Jalyn has apologized to me in DMs about calling me a racial slur, and even went as far to say they will stop with edgy jokes altogether, as this clearly gets them in way too much trouble. So that's good, right? Spoilers, just like Jalyn's parents saying I love you to them, she didn't mean it. Our little drama got so big that I had a chance to go on Keemstar's podcast, Pack and Keem, but like Sneeko with his girlfriend, I had to watch myself getting cucked by Aki RFC. The beef stopped for a bit till February 17th when Jalyn made an edgy joke calling Keemstar a pedo, and of course I remind Jalyn what they told me in DMs because that was easy Twitter likes. They didn't like that at all, to the point she even blocked me and kept me blocked till even now, so everything after this point on Twitter is Jalyn whispering behind a corner hoping Big Bad Izzy can't hear them. She even tried to debate me behind it so I could respond directly to them, which is just funny how scared they are of me. Now I was dealing with some IRL stuff so I couldn't post this on the same day, but Jalyn accidentally DM'd me calling the YouTuber Optimus an incel, and on February 21st I made a tweet about it, because making fun of Jalyn makes the like button go brr. It was just too funny not to post. They deleted the message in my DMs, quote tweeted me, and then deleted that tweet. Luckily, Optimus did saw the tweet and well, Jalyn did not like that at all, but we'll get there soon. Now after this moment, Jalyn was ignoring me publicly, but I still call out some of their hypocrisy with them milking the quiet situation while trying to call out other people for doing the same thing. But on February 25th, someone reminded Jalyn about what they told me in DMs, and Jalyn responded with, and I quote,
I say lots of shit to get shit off me.
It was at this moment I and most people who IQ is above room temperature saw this and realized that Jalyn didn't meant the words they said to me, and was willing to lie to just look good. So any defense Jalyn has, take it with a heaping amount of salt. On March 1st, they try to claim Sensitive Society is constantly harassing them for making 6 videos in a span of 2 years. Of course, I called its Down syndrome take stupid and flexed my comment under the video getting pinned like my pronouns are I'm him. Jalyn decided to go into my DMs and have one of the biggest schizo moments I have ever seen, saying certain YouTubers want her dead because she's a trans leftist.
They hate me. Jealousy. The fact I'm trans. The fact I'm a leftist. A Cheeto literally went at me because I called out his conservative views. Sensitive Society also conservative. They have an agenda. It's blatantly clear. Optimists, all of them. Half of the people who made videos on me just wanted views. They want to turn us into lol cows to kill us and milk us for right-wing grifter content.
The commentary community having an agenda against them because of the great Nicholas DeOrio.
Everyone in this community has an agenda. Because you leaked DMs, first of all, LOL. Like commentary rule 101. I like how suddenly the rules don't apply. No one holds to those standards anymore. Also, it was a nothing burger. You tweeted it out days later to get an own on me randomly. You had no reason to do so, except Malleus. Fully how Nick DeOrio continues to pretend he has some sort of moral high ground.
That they were never a hypocrite.
This is a logical fallacy. I will not respond to this. Same logical fallacy Optimus tried and failed to call me out for. IDK why people try and get me on these fally hypocrisy arguments. There's a very clear line in everything I do. I've always held to it.
Was sucking Salvo Piss Lover Pancake's dick like they were Edwin in the three-way?
This entire community is filled with quote-unquote lol cows. Like, look at Salvo Pancakes. He was on the top of this community, but because of their agenda, he became a lol cow. Salvo did fucked shit, but people turned on him so fast because he called out the community's BS. It's all built on hypocrisy. I'll admit what he did to Chris was fucked.
And she even tried to say she's not a lol cow because they are self-aware, which is just so stupid. The IQ number to require such a take is lower than the girl's EDP tries to get cupcakes from.
How am I a lol cow if I'm self-aware, and do not make money from trolls? Once my channel is back on track, this will all be behind me. Like at that point, Keemstar or Leafy would be a lol cow or Keffel's lol. A lol cow is someone like Wings of Redemption or DSP. You easy could be made a lol cow.
I post our DMs and it got so big to the point that I was covered on Augie RFC's podcast After Hours with people like Keemstar and Mutahar, and both I and Jalyn joined the call. It went nowhere. Keem and Mutahar basically became Jalyn's father and gave them advice while I sat there drooling over myself saying a total of 10 words. Yeah, it wasn't the blood spurts everybody, including myself, thought and was ready for, but this was probably for the best because they were able to get Jalyn off Twitter for a week. Or at least stop tweeting because they were still on Twitter liking and unliking said things when called out. Keemstar and Mutahar's effort went to waste. On March 9th, Jalyn called another person the N-word, and just like I tweeted, at this point they say it more than actual racist does. And on March 10th, she quit tweeted me complaining about the AI video I was working on of her reading our DMs, but she deleted the tweet. This seems to be the end until March 15, where I got some screenshots of Jalyn asking if it would be okay to fuck over Sensitive Society's channel. They were talked down to, but just like Flamenco with Xanderhall, the fact they thought about it in the first place is such a huge red flag. And just get more concerning the fact that they have told other people how to flag somebody. After I leaked this, they started venting and blaming random innocent people for leaking it to me, to the point that I had to tweet out that it wasn't them. I also want to point out that the person they blame was a known Indian man, and after all those N-word drops, it makes you really think why she blamed him first, huh? They have apologized to this person in DMs, however based off how they will say anything to get shit off their back, I doubt they actually meant it. This leak got Jalyn so upset when someone thought it was funny how people leak things to me. Jalyn went on saying that they would laugh when that person dies by stage 4 kidney failures, something the person's father is currently dealing with. Now Jalyn could have not known this, and I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I also don't like Jalyn, so let's assume she did know, just to make her seem worse. Eventually I got into the server and I found out Jalyn has been spawning on my Twitter complaining about me since the beginning, from January 29th till now. They put me on a no forgiveness list, and I was the first name they thought of when making it. If you look at the date when it was posted, it's January 29th. That was just 3 days after they called me a slur, claiming I wanted her to kill herself, and when I stopped her from trying to dox herself. But she wants me to apologize when I have done nothing wrong. Now they claim this is a joke, but they also hate me for the same reason they put it on the list. And recently while editing this, Jalyn has said the list is ironic, but then claims only me, Nicholas DeOrio, and a Twitter troll named Spawndile are the only people on the list. So wrap your head around that. I have also been told I am Jalyn's trigger word and possibly the most hated person to them besides YouTuber Nicholas DeOrio, who Jalyn put us over somebody they believe to be a sex pest womanizer, just to give you an understanding. In this Discord we had our final talk, and Jalyn didn't learn anything from the first time. They called me a slur again, and when I called them out, they tried to claim they didn't, and when I told them I had the screenshot, they claim it's Photoshop, until a witness had to come in and say, yeah, I was telling the truth. Like I mentioned in the beginning, they told me they will flag this video down if it breaks the TOS, they want to do way worse things to me, and even implied wanting to shoot me. Now, it's entirely possible these were jokes, but they said the same thing for doxing themselves, the list, and they also said that they will say anything to get shit off their back. Yeah, doesn't really make me see this as a joke or want to believe them. I got kicked from the server and was still able to get some screenshots of Jalyn blaming the commentary community for everything. And finally, the announcement of this video made them leave Twitter on their public account for a month, still tweeting on their private. Quick note, Jalyn's already came back and lasted 2 days thanks to a Cheeto. At this point, it doesn't matter, as I'm ending this chapter because it got boring. Jalyn has gone full circle from the start of our drama, learning nothing, ignoring advice from people they look up to, and generally just looking insane over something they should have just ignored. But listen, Jalyn didn't go insane over this. They have been insane and doing the same stuff for 3 years. Nearly every moment I experienced in this month-long drama can be compared to another, if not multiple other controversies they've been in. From Jalyn calling other people of color the N-word, wanting to flag, going after other people for edgy jokes, etc. Jalyn is someone that will not change, will not get better, and will always continue this cycle they created, not because of undiagnosed autism as they claim, not because of creators like a Cheeto or Nicholas DeOrio, not because of Twitter, and not because of people like me. They aren't going to change because they don't want to. They have repeated the same situation multiple times for 3 years, getting the same advice every single time. And they still continue to repeat themselves and continue the cycle over and over again because they refuse to change. In fact, they are currently repeating the cycle right now as we speak. I'm done talking about Jalyn for a long time. I could probably milk this drama for another 3 years, but eventually I will be part of the Jalyn cycle, and I'd rather not be. I hope you enjoyed the video. I put some effort in there, so if you enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. I'm planning on making more videos in the future when I'm not lazy, so look forward to that. But before you head out, if you notice in all the screenshots, a certain individual named Nicholas DeOrio was mentioned a lot, and is probably more hated by Jalyn than me. So I decided to ask him a few questions about this drama and Jalyn as a whole. So here's that interview. I want to say thank you to him for allowing me to interview him, and I also want to say thank you to my friend Zipzap for doing the art you're about to see. She's a very talented artist, I love her work, and I left her Twitter in the description, so go give her a follow. Alright. So, my first question is, you're one of the few creators openly saying Jalyn should leave the internet. Which event made you believe that?
It's not like any specific one event. I forgot when I actually found Jalyn, but you can definitely find the VODs on YouTube. Well, I know, I think I spoke to Jalyn in a call one time, but I noticed that there was like this creator, Max BT Show or something, who made, there was like, God, I forgot the whole group of them. It was like Communist Creeper, Max BT Show, and a few other like really small creators like bullying Jalyn. And I thought at the time like a lot of the points they were making were fucking stupid. Jalyn's like I think a minor at this point or just turned 18, so it's just like a stupid kid as well. She's like not very she doesn't understand the space at that point. And I don't know, this whole situation has made me think that that's more common than I had initially thought. But then you see people like Turkey Tom who can balance like crazy dramas at that age. So I don't know, maybe it's like a built different thing. Anyways, I thought Jalyn was getting the raw end of the stick there. I thought it was I thought it was a bit unfair, so I had stepped in, gave Jalyn advice like 1, 2, 3 times, and I noticed that she's just unable to, like, she'll say, "Yeah, I understand, I'll do this," and then like the next day you'll see something on Twitter where she's like, "All Catholics should die in hellfire" or something that would start her cycle off again, and that was like. It led to like a year of this happening, just over and over and over again, of just constant meltdowns. And I think recently it's gotten so bad that I've actually started talking about it more. Some of the like dox me, swat me shit she's been doing is just fucking ballistic. This is a person who I don't think can control themselves. Should never be giving advice to others. I don't care what their opinions are on any kind of drama. And now it's reached a point where I think this person's like a danger to themselves. So I think the right advice is just to leave. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, that definitely did. I agree with all of it. She goes in her rant when she was calling me the N-word, she goes off talking about how she's been doing this drama cycle for 3 years straight.
Yeah, I didn't want to give because I don't know exactly what month this all started in, but I get the feeling it's been a while that even I've known about it. And that's common though with YouTubers early in their career to get into a lot of trouble because they don't know the lay of the land. Some of them are extremely young, like I said before, and Jalyn never grew out of it. There are these creators who shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be talking about other people. They shouldn't be passing judgment on other people. They shouldn't be giving advice about life situations. And they can't handle the hate that comes with it. At least when it's a creator like Boogie who can't control himself. He makes videos about, like, I guess some trending topics, but he used to make videos about, like, games and stuff and, like, stuff that he does and his own life. But it's harder when your job is to critique other people because with that comes people critiquing you. You're directly putting yourself in a position to get hate, quote unquote, every time you click the record button. And for a person like Jalyn, that's just not compatible.
Yeah. It's weird because Jalyn goes off to me like how the community is full of hypocrites and how they can't handle criticism when I feel like it's a projection coming from them.
I think it needs to be that way for Jalyn to have some sort of sanity. It's probably hard to accept that you're just completely incapable of doing something that has brought you legitimate success. We forget this person towers over me and some of my friends in terms of subscriber growth. Probably view count all time, I would say. Also, probably more influential than me in that regard. She's done a lot, and it's probably harder to say goodbye to something that's been successful, even if it isn't necessarily anymore.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I want to ask the second question because you're kind of answering it. But since you're one of Jalyn's most hated people, how do you feel with everything coming out? Were you surprised by any of it?
You're saying some of the specific, like, to me, because I noticed that I'm constantly the name I see in all these messages.
Yeah, you, what they call like a Cheeto, Optimus, etc. Like, were you surprised by any of this stuff, really?
I'm surprised that my name comes up as much, but I'm also surprised that Optimus's name comes up. Because when I say something, and you could debate till the cows come home whether my advice or, my tone of voice was good in that conversation with Jalyn, I will tell you it was. I think anybody telling Jalyn, and I'm referring to the Augie stream, I think anyone telling Jalyn that she needs to, just take a little break and come back has completely missed this entire discussion or completely checked out on what's been going on. There's no hope for this person to be able to maintain some sort of positive public image in the future. Honestly, they're putting themselves into a position of being an unemployable lolcow like Wings of Redemption. I think getting out now is the way to go. But I don't know why I in particular am being singled out, and even more so Optimus, because Optimus is kind of given the same advice as me, only nicer. Where it actually seems like it's come from like a place that's like genuine and not just a place of frustration. Where I want to specify that. I don't think I'm being like God's gift to Jalyn here. I don't think my advice is coming from the purest of places. I am a bit frustrated seeing all this happen. And again, like, I do this stuff for a living. This is what not a living, but I do this stuff. It's not like I'm going to pretend I'm just some righteous outside individual with only the best of intentions or whatever. But Optimus seemed like he was that guy. I don't know. I don't see Optimus as somebody who's reaching into the Jalyn bin and being like, yeah, I can really pull an easy video out from this one, or I can exploit this for content. Whereas there are legitimately people who hate Jalyn that want her like fucking dead, who Jalyn hates less than me. And that's not like a dig at any specific YouTuber, because I wouldn't even be. I'm not like. I assume that's going to get connected to like the right-wing guys, like Sensitive Society and Cheeto. I'm not even saying that's them specifically, but I know there are definitely like commenters and stuff like that, and probably some niche creators that want Jalyn like fucking dead, that she hates less than me. And maybe that's because I've been nice to her in the past, and that's my mistake, and maybe I won't be that nice to people in the future. Maybe I won't reach out because this is fucking weird. This obsession is fucking weird. But yeah, I know it's weird. It's weird that I am kind of being singled out more so, and if not singled out, wrapped up with Optimus, who's not really like I get why Jalyn doesn't like a Cheeto. Isn't a Cheeto the one who made the Chris Chan comparison?
That was Sensitive Society.
That was Sensitive Society. I forgot what it. Oh no, a Cheeto was the one who brought up Natty Forsyth, which I even then it's like. I still don't know what the fuck is going on with that situation, bro. Every time I hear about that, Jalyn and Natty just look worse and worse. So I don't know what the fuck is going on there. But that guy, bro. I don't know. I don't get it.
Speaking of people that she should probably hate more, so this I haven't showed this out, but she said that she hated us more than Edwin. And calling him a womanizer, sex pest, and everything.
I could believe. I don't actually. So, all right. All right. So what you're saying is she hates us more than Edwin, and Edwin implying that she believes the allegations against Edwin is what you're saying.
Basically.
Okay. So let me unpack. This is a Boogie statement. This is my trolls are worse than racists and Nazis. That's a quote that I think that's a quote Boogie gave or something similar along the lines of that. Basically, what I interpret from that is Jalyn cares more about herself than like morality, and that's not to say that Edwin's guilty of anything. But under this discussion, we have to assume that Jalyn would, for your question to be valid. So she hates me more because I've been critical of her than Edwin, who you're saying she believes is like predatory.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, it not surprising. Not surprising. It's a narcissistic thing. I don't even use that word a lot because I think when people pull out their big psychology words or whatever, it comes off as kind of cringe. But it's like a narcissist thing. I think.
All right. I have one final question. You were kind of answering it, but Jalyn has been in very similar situations in the past with like calling people slurs, wondering if it's okay to flag like creator channels, and they've been given the same advice over and over again. Do you think she understands what she's doing?
Yes.
Or, okay, I was gonna say, or do you think it's not the case and she's just like really stupid?
No, I absolutely think she understands all of the commentary guidelines, the unsaid or in some case often said rules that we follow that are kind of limited to our space, and I don't believe that anyone who makes commentary content would find themselves in a situation where they think that DMCAs on stuff like that is good. There are like two types of situations, obviously, copyright striking and flagging videos. Those are often construed as the same from YouTube videos. We know this. It happens all the time. People say like they struck my video and then it turns into a situation with a report button feature, which that's not technically what they did, but they definitely contributed to the strike that went on it. So I don't know specifically what Jalyn has done recently, but anybody who makes videos on other people and talks about copyright abuse knows what the fuck copyright is. So if it's a copyright situation, Jalyn fucking knows. If it's a flagging situation, it wouldn't surprise me if Jalyn was just pro flagging at this point and just doesn't fucking care.
They have gave advice to another creator, someone named Pablo, that if you're gonna flag, do it anonymous. Like don't tell anybody, do it on like a burner and stuff. Just make sure no one knows.
I wonder how many people actually do that. I wonder how many people flag anonymously. I always thought, because this is a super niche random thing, is I forgot why we were accusing Jeremy, or I don't even know if it was how far back this actually goes. It might have been this might be back to 2019, saying they thought Jeremy was flagging creators. And I think he showed his flag history. And then the person who said that was like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because he could just have 15 other accounts that he's flagging on. And theoretically, that probably gets you out of those situations. That being said, I don't know. I'm not surprised if I find out that Jalyn has an alt account that flagged every single video that was ever made about her. I guess the solace is that I don't think I've ever heard of one going down. So it hasn't been very successful if she does do that.
All right. That was basically all the questions I have. Thank you for answering them.
No problem. Happy to help out.